boys and girls. Scotty's Redneck Canadian. Besides being in dire need of a haircut, today I'm going to show you my little hydroponic greenhouse that I got. I posted some pictures on Facebook, and some of my friends seemed interested in it and were asking questions, so I figured I'd do a little video on basic hydroponics. So here's the setup that I come up with a few years ago. It's been very successful. It's very simple. Everything's growing in these little net pots. It's in 4-inch PVC. I drilled 3-inch holes. I believe those are 3.5-inch net pots. It holds 53 plants. It's very simple. Get all these tomato leaves out of the way. I buried 2 barrels in the ground. There's a 36-gallon US reservoir here. There's a pump that pumps out of the reservoir, and it enters the system right here. All the pipes are joined, and then you can see I turned it on a second ago. It's starting to drain. What happens is it comes over here to the one side, and that drain is connected all the way back. So basically you've got your plants. Your plants have their roots that are down, for the most part, in that growing solution, nutrient solution. So the important thing is that you want to keep the water level consistent. If the water level is inconsistent, the roots on the top that are in the air and stay dry, they uptake oxygen, and the roots that are down in the nutrients, they uptake nutrients and water. And what happens is if the water level goes down and those roots dry out, they'll actually turn into roots that start uptaking oxygen. And then when you reintroduce them to water, it's going to drown the plants. So the way I've got it set up, this goes 3 times a day, and it keeps the water level exactly the way it is, or at the exact right level. And so as long as I don't drain the system, or let the plants transpire enough that it drains the system of water, then everything's good. So that's one of the 3, I guess, most important things. And let me show you about pH here in a second. All right, so we need to measure pH, and right now we're at 6.5 and 66 degrees, so our nutrient solution's good. What tends to happen is that when you add water, your pH is going to go up. That's okay. But when you start out, you're going to need to bring it down, because the pH of water is 7 for diluted or distilled water, and you want to be between 6.3 and 6.7. So you're going to need to add phosphoric acid. But what I learned is, do not add a lot of phosphoric acid. Don't try to make radical changes, because it's not going to work. So my rule of thumb is, do not add more than 1 capful of phosphoric acid per 10 gallons of nutrient solution. And then don't even bother trying to check it. Let it flush through your system for a day, and then check it, and usually you'll be right on, okay? But then what's going to happen is, as the plants take the water out, everything else that's in the nutrient solution is going to bring the pH down. So, we're at 6.4 right now. Well, how you're going to bring the pH up, I don't use anything other than more water, because that's what's happening, is it's taking water out with the higher pH. You add water back into your reservoir there, and it's usually going to bring you back to about 6.7. It just takes practice, but that's super important. Important thing you need to know about, you can see right down there, I had a little leak, and it is green, really, really green. We're talking about algae, okay? You need your system to be in total darkness. So you can see this is where my reservoir is. I keep it covered with black plastic, and any of these empty net pots that you have, you need to keep them full, because algae will get in there and it will just wreak havoc. If you leave one of those net pots out, you're not going to have nothing left for nutrients. It's going to take it right out. So that's pretty much it. You stick to that and you should have pretty good results.